This news update is brought to you by...
Don't you deserve a little me time? Play catch up and binge watch full seasons of your favorite TV shows. Available on video on demand from Flow. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today Evening News Update for Monday, January 18. Thank you for joining us. I am Marie-Claire Williams. We begin with news that Education Minister Ronald Jones is calling on teachers to be more reasonable in their pay demands. The call follows a recent meeting between education officials and representatives of the Barbados Secondary School Teachers Union. Jones says he does not want to see a repeat of last year's boycott of CXC exams, but the BSTU President Mary Redmond says while the members will continue to assist students in preparing for their school-based assessments this year, they will not be correcting any scripts unless they are paid to do so. Speaking to reporters at Aline School this morning, Jones said he would like to see the matter resolved.
I've put forward some ideas as to how I see that it can be looked at. There are still challenges, and where I surely don't want to see what happened last year repeat itself. I am always conscious of the students not being aggravated or annoyed or confusion put in their way as they pursue what is theirs to pursue within the both CSEC, CAPE, CCSLC, or any of the examinations. But I don't carry any pain in relation to the matter. I think that where reasonable people can sit down and discuss what are the ramifications of their actions and what are the processes we need to resolve some of these matters, then that can be achieved.
Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister David Estwick is seeking a meeting with Jones to discuss the development of an agriculture curriculum in schools. It is part of plans to get more students interested in pursuing a career in that field. Estwick says he will also seek to ensure that the curriculum meets the employment requirements within the sector.
In an effort to ensure that agriculture is considered as a career choice, the Ministry of Agriculture will very shortly be seeking a meeting with the officials of the Ministry of Education, Science, Technology and Innovation to address agricultural curriculum development and to seek to ensure that the curriculum in the schools adequately meets the employment needs within the agricultural sector.
The former General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Sir Roy Trotman, is commending the Massy Group of Companies for its commitment to dialogue in the ongoing negotiations. Talks between the two parties have managed to reduce the number of workers to be sent home from the company. 70 jobs will now be cut compared to 190 as previously stated. The two sides are meeting for further discussions this evening, and Sir Roy says other companies should follow Massy's example.
What has led to this smooth resolution has been the relationship that has existed over time between BS&T, now Massy Stores, and the Barbados Workers Union. We have had an exemplary relationship with that company. They have been always willing to have consultation, to have dialogue. They've been open and transparent in the way they have dealt with the workers' problems. And I believe it is that approach which should be copied by other people. If we had only had something like that at Light and Power last year, Barbados would have been much the prouder for it.
One local construction official says there are definite signs that the local industry is on the rebound. Innotech Services Limited is currently involved in the construction of the $450 million multi-purpose Andrews Sugar Factory in St. Joseph, and it was also recently awarded a contract by government for a project in Cane Garden, St. Thomas. Executive Chairman Tony Da Silva says the company is now eyeing opportunities in the Eastern Caribbean, where he says there is also evidence of economic recovery. Da Silva pointed to recent work on the $5 million EC Basse-Terre High School in St. Kitts, as well as projects in St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Innotech added it is keen to pursue avenues in Antigua, Grenada and Dominica. The company employs close to 300 people across the region. In sports, President of the Barbados Football Association, Randy Harris, is supporting FIFA presidential candidate Gianni Infantino. The Swiss football administrator has told the media he believes he can win next month's vote to succeed Sepp Blatter after picking up what he called major support in the Caribbean. Infantino attended a meeting yesterday of the Caribbean Football Union, which has 25 votes in the election. He is one of the 5 candidates vying for the post. Harris says his message about development programs for countries outside of the strongholds of football had been well received. The corruption crisis within FIFA has broken apart the long-standing political loyalties in the Caribbean, which had previously voted for Sepp Blatter as a bloc.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from the region, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Keith Rowley is warning that the Twin Island Republic could face an extended period of low oil and gas prices. He also says the country is at a critical juncture of its existence. Rowley told the opening of an energy conference and trade show this morning that the country needs to put its economic house in order, or it would need to seek help from the International Monetary Fund. He said Port of Spain's management of its affairs will now determine whether the present situation escalates into a crisis. Miners in Guyana are being told to provide accurate gold declarations if they want to benefit from government concessions. We get more in this report from Capital News.
At a meeting at the Arthur Chung Convention Center, miners spoke of the security threats, the need for a fuel and other concession for miners, and the numerous problems they face on the ground. Trotman said his ministry has to fix the broken system. He said the government will not grant concession if miners are not responsible.
There was much said about tax concessions and about fuel. I did say earlier my own views. It's a responsibility. A concession is not a right. It is a privilege that the government extends. And that privilege demands a response, and that response is good practices, good behavior. You can't be declaring 23 ounces of gold and ask for a concession for an excavator, knowing that you made over 300 ounces. Where's the gold? Pay your royalties.
Junior Minister Simona Brooms urged the miners to take some responsibility. She said the government alone cannot get the job done to regularize the sector.
On the international scene, passengers and crew on a tourist vessel were forced to jump into the sea off the coast of New Zealand today after the boat caught fire. Local media reports say all 60 people on board were rescued, but several passengers sustained minor injuries and were taken to hospital. More in this BBC report.
Seen clearly from shore, the inferno, which quickly took hold of the 22-metre boat, raged for about 20 minutes. All those on board managed to escape after jumping into the water as flames began spreading from the vessel's stern. 53 passengers and 7 crew were on the New Zealand ferry when it caught fire in the Bay of Plenty, about a kilometre off the coast of Whakatane. As the blaze took hold, the Coast Guard and a number of small local boats went out to rescue those stranded in the water. Several passengers were taken to a local hospital with minor injuries, one suffering from smoke inhalation. While the boat has now sunk, the cause of the fire is now being fully investigated.
And finally, British MPs were today debating on a petition calling for U.S. Republican candidate Donald Trump to be banned from the country. The petition was the result of controversial statements made by Trump last month, in which he called on the U.S. to temporarily ban all Muslims from entering the country. The petition has gained thousands of signatures and easily cleared the 100,000 threshold to be considered by the Parliament's Petition Committee, which has now passed it on to the full Parliament for debate. MPs are also expected to debate a counter-petition calling for Trump not to be banned from the UK. That appeal has gained 40,000 signatures. And that's this evening's news. There's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I am Mary Claire Williams. Good evening.